What's up everybody, welcome to my channel, and in today's video we'll see how conditional statements or how if-else statements work in Python. So conditional statements, or you can call them if statements, they provide you a way to execute a chosen block of code based on the runtime evaluation of one or more Boolean expressions. So what are Boolean expressions? Well, before Boolean expressions you should know what Boolean variables are. So Boolean variables are those variables which either store a value of true or false, is 0 or 1, on or off. So for example, if you want to declare a variable as a Boolean variable, you just have to the variable name. Here we are picking a, we're using an assignment operator, and then we are giving it a value of true, and say that we have another variable which has a value of false. So here these are Boolean variables because they have Boolean values stored inside of them. So for a Boolean expression, you would have to, for example, if you write A and B, so this would evaluate to true. And that's because when you have true and false, then that would evaluate to false, because uh, if you know how AND or XOR operations work, you know that for AND, when you have, let's say you have A here, B here, and you have output. So if you have 1 here, 1 here, you get output of 1. If you have 1 here, 0 here, you get 0. If you get 0 here, 1 here, then you would have a 0. And if you have both 0, then also you would get a 0. So for any AND statement, any AND expression to be true, you would have to have all the variables set to 1 or true. So if you have even one variable that is set to 0, you would always end up with 0, meaning false. So here A and B, which is true and false, oops, yeah, so true and false would give you false, and we can print it out. So to verify, so we can see that A and B gives you false, and true and false also gives you false. If you type in true and true, oops, and it would give you a true there. So you can verify all 4 of these, but it's going to be the same. So okay, so now moving on to the statements, if-else statements. So the syntax in Python for if-else statements is like this. You write if, you give a condition here, there is a colon, then there is an indented block. And in this block you would write statements that you want to execute if this condition is true. So for example, let's say that if the condition is true, you want to print something here like condition is true, and you can do all kinds of stuff here. For example, you can say a is equal to 5 plus 10, and then you want to print a. After that, you can have any elif statements, or also you can call them elif, else if statements, but you would write them as elif. It's a shorthand. It prefers to make things precise and short, so that's why they go for elif instead of else if in most languages like C or JavaScript and etc. So here you can give additional statements. For example, if condition 2, for example, is true, then print that condition 2 is true. And you can have any number of elif statements, including 0. You could have elif, and you can drop it if you want, as per your need. So you could have condition 3 here, and so on. So, and in the end, you can have an optional else statement. So if none of these conditions are true, if all these conditions are false, then whatever you write in here would be definitely executed. So you could write here that no conditions are true. No condition is true. So let's go ahead and give these condition variables some values. For example, let's say condition is equal to true, condition 2 is equal to false, and yeah, that's it. So if we printed so if we run this block of code, we can see that condition is true. So if true, So meaning that this block would be executed, and we are going to see condition is true on the print screen, and we can see 5 plus 10 15 on the print screen. So let's go ahead and verify, and we do see that its condition is true and 15. But if let's say this was set to false, then what would happen? So we can see that no condition is true because condition is false, and condition 2 is also set to false. So it automatically passes to the else statement, and whatever's written here in this block would get finally executed. So that's why we can see no condition is true is being printed here. Also, you can have, for example, let's make something real here. Okay, so let's take a user's input of his age and print out if he's an adult or not an adult for a simple program. So we learned in the previous video that to take an input from the user, what you have to do is you have to type input, and then you can say enter your age here, and this would display the message. But by default, since this would take a string input, as we learned in the last video, we have to typecast it to an integer variable. And let's store this into age variable. So it would take an input. It would ask you your age. You would enter your age. It would be stored as an integer variable. It would be stored as an integer, and then it would be stored into the age variable. So what you want to do next is you want to see if age is less than 18. And if it is less than 18, then you want to print out you are not an adult. But if it is, let's say if it is greater than 18, then you want to print that you are an adult. So let's run it, and it's asking for my age. So let's write 22, which is my age. So it says that I'm an adult. Perfect. Okay, so let's add more clauses to this. So for example, let's say that a person enters an age which is more than 100, let's say. So we want to say that if age is greater than 100, it should print out that you are probably dead. I mean, there's probably nobody who's over 800 years of age. Maybe let's make it 120. I mean, whatever. So if we run this and we write in 27 here, so it's still printing. Okay, so you can see here that it says if age is greater than 18, and 127 is actually greater than 18. So what it's going to do is it's going to print this statement. It's going to execute this block, and then it's not going to look at any of these conditions, no matter what you write here. And that's how the structuring works in these conditional statements. So if any of these are true, it would not it wouldn't execute any of the other blocks. So if your if statement is true, it's not going to print out this one or this one. It's not going to even see the condition if this is true or not. So if any of these are true, it would simply execute that block, and it would not look for any more conditions to see if they're true or not. So what we can write here is we can so since it has to be a Boolean expression, what we can write here is we can say and we can write and age is less than 120. So this would evaluate to true when your age lies between 18 and 120, but not inclusive of those numbers. So if your age is equal to 18, it's not going to print anything. It's going to probably go to pass here. So let's get something here. You are 18. So we can see that when we write 18 here, it's saying you are 18. So it's not printing out this one or this one or this one. It's directly going to this one. And that's because at all of these less than and greater than statements, we did not add an equal to sign. So let's say that if we write here, if age is greater than or equal to 18, and this stands for this symbol, it stands for greater than or equal to. And if we write here less than or equal to, or how would you write it? You write it like this, yeah, less than or equal to 120. So here, when we would have anything between 18 and 120 and inclusive of those numbers, it's going to print out that you are an adult. And if it sees a number that is greater than 120, then it's going to print out you are probably dead. And else, and I think we are not. I mean, this block would never get executed because it would. I mean, whatever number you enter, it would either be less than 18, it would either be equal to 18, or greater than 18, equal to 120, or greater than 120. There wouldn't be any number that would. So we are covering all the entire number line here. So this statement would never get executed here. So we can say this will not be executed. So obviously this would never be printed on the screen because no matter what we enter here, this is not going to print it out. So it doesn't matter what you write here. It's going to say you're probably dead if you write a number between over 120. But this statement will never be executed. So okay, and that's pretty much it about the if-else statements. In the next video, we are going to make a simple calculator using these statements, using the if-else statements. And what we are going to do is, yeah, we are going to make a basic calculator, which would add, subtract, or multiply, or divide. And that's pretty much it, I think. Yeah, let's keep it simple for the next video. So this is it for the if-else statements. If you have any questions, put them down in the comment below. And thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.